Lyrical poets, tender, soft, delicate, sensitive, ideal, intriguing, interesting, intelligent, creative, lovers, horror, artistic, whirling galaxies, bursting words, wanting expression beyond the usage of language by words. I wasn't good at painting. I didn't see a burning bush. Aurora melted. I'm entirely alien to some people. I'm a foreigner to this world, so this earth is an alien to me. Every face to me is a stranger that either smiles or frowns. Aesthetics, a stimulus abuse. Genius writes in grandeur style. Walking slum.
Is the truest aesthetic experience creating art, or just a totality of one sloth, struggling opponent of crippling emotions, a movement through the soul, enormous swells to sting, extending far and wide through the hopes of art, quotes, other people? There's going to be some stuff in life that's going to make it hard to see the blessings, an insult to injury, rulers creating piety, trendsetters in culture presented like monks or philosophers, with no sense of trying till one is willing to ode to Baphomet, hollow horns otherwise formed as regular bodies, adding to daily pains, feel the moans of the poetics. I act to what I know, I react to what I don't, left stuck in a ponder of wonder. Where did all those years go? The king of the gods sets distribution channels as for the queen, beauty is in her. We're all guilty at face value. National attitudes are national symptoms of statewide shrines. Shameless keepers, young boys, keeping of ravishing beauty of girls. It's so easy to reach for the material of the Stoics, where their writings do not belong to the landscape of philosophers. Language is humanity's powerful weapon. It goes beyond poetry.
Smiles or frowns. Aesthetics, a stimulus abuse. Genius writes in grandeur style. Walking slum internally. I just wanted to invite beauty into my soul, where I yearn human connection. Changing society, changing moods of poems. Moving, sweeping through, my time here is done while I am still alive. A poet, a temper of the modern age, a small moment, an epoch for history. Do not follow any artist like faith in religion. Poems, therapy for moods, words for thoughts, despite what experience the poem is forming. Call it artistic blessing. I want to scream out loud, 'cause it's all I feel inside. Joy in happiness is a drug. Struggling humans. Lean upon something always outside of themselves. Falsehood. Can personal discipline result in personal freedom? Process of life is to die, coughing into poetry, lighting a cigarette, a deep and unhealthy word spoken, moving, sweeping through, my time here is done while I am still alive. A poet, a temper of the modern age, a small moment, an epoch for history. Do not follow any artist like faith in religion. Poems, therapy for moods, words for thoughts, despite what experience the poem is forming. Call it artistic blessing. I want to scream out loud, 'cause it's all I feel inside. Joy in happiness is a drug. Struggling humans.
Powerful weapon. It goes beyond poetry. It's an expression of ideas and wisdom being passed through creation. But there is superstition in the nature of people, deluded alone with its normal in large crowds. It's been situated in the timeline of immortality, passing from ancient knowledge to the modern, where future predictions is prophecy. Embedded thoughts in hopes to match my morals. Being saddened is seeing the daily mundane without its charming veils, depression of what people do, left questioning, what was I thinking? A whisper that dares, a toil of letting go, a flight to push forward, a combination of painful truths, morphing into something else, a tear dropping, where coming of age is no longer a cliche, but something extremely personal. In a desolate area I creak mournfully alone. It's the sacrifice to building an original character, attached to myself, as none of my sobs can cry loud enough. I endure long, and I'm tired. Being described like magic, I appear into other people's world. Like a murmur of rare quality, they love the idea, but in reality, faced by a mirror and cannot handle where they had arrived in their own life, they run. A feeling of sadness comes over me, learning that there is nothing more sacred than another person. I can be in an admiring manner from afar. Emotional hangovers for months. My dream of being myself has come with regret. There was no breath I could use that I could recover from. At the point of becoming first awareness that I had been left alone. The life I want, the experiences I crave for, like a junkie in peak addiction.
Falsehood. Can personal discipline result in personal freedom? Process of life is to die, coughing into poetry, lighting a cigarette, a deep and unhealthy word spoken with the pen, my frontline voice, because it's what I feel, choking cause of the experience I've led. I want a passionate life, smoke haze in my eyes. No longer feel the pain you're feeling. I cannot be writing endless poetry to ease anything. It doesn't work. Dumping from tenets of the heart, straight from the start, my art is made from turmoil. I am not promoting hardship, sorrow, or even looking for sympathy. Hollow calendar days lived, silent solidarily within me. I tried to reach, but I feel on deaf ears. This is after I've been told how special I am to them. Life had told charms, leading me into smiling faces, a fear-filled journey. I'm bewildered by painful hardship of learning that I'm never as meant.
But in reality, faced by a mirror and cannot handle where they had arrived in their own life, they run. A feeling of sadness comes over me, learning that there is nothing more sacred than another person. I can be in an admiring manner from afar. Emotional hangovers for months. My dream of being myself has come with regret. There was no breath I could use that I could recover from. At the point of becoming first awareness that I had been left alone. The life I want, the experiences I crave for, like a junkie in peak addiction, is something washed by and saturated by angels. My third eye circles those images of that life, like a vulture to a dying body enduring its last breaths. It's all I can do. And if I hear another person telling me to be kind to thyself, I'll scream as I hide my face behind a Jason mask. Dramatic, yes. My emotions know nothing else. Perhaps the purpose of death is to kill desires and allow another to use creation as their life. The walls get taller, the room gets smaller, embellishing in burden. I'm sure to most art pieces will be forgotten besides the artist himself, and may be remembered by their lover only. It's a very poetic way to die, dead from a broken heart. To some, art pieces causes ripples over the earth's cultures, denying people the time of reflection over their own life. They engage in such works. like popular music blasted from the youthful crowd. Lifting an axe, I moved silently, pushing my arms up, grasped to swing, hoping to silence that will introduce nirvana. With life going on in different shades, in opera is where tragedy happens, and they sing. To what can I learn from Munch's scream? When your eyes are veiled with stars, red flags just look like flags. See how passive these lines are. I've seen the injustices of the world, turning my eyes to my own mistakes through the process of it all, and I feel ashamed now, pending actions and hindsight wisdom. There's a difference between knowing morals and knowing about morals. To every philosopher boasts about freedom, reflect on freedom, there's an audience to listen with cheering claps, and we easily walk out of the stadium when they yell out the flaws of freedom. Are we obligated to act on morals or free to turn blind eye on such things? A snapping reality, breaking illusions from my mind. All I can do is write tearful poetry. Now my eyes are canny, a turning of the wind. Now my face is dramatic. The same with my composure and manner. And times my mood is able to frame my body where it all matches, jumping into joy and excitement. There is nothing wrong with chasing your dreams, where the dreams hide in the sleep of veiled flowers and ferns. But dreams know no borders, states, limits. But the need I thought that's wanted for being a poet, I grew into a fragile, sensitive person. Straight from the mind to the mouth, written words spelled from my hands, I found myself in a bottle of bourbon. But myself, I'll never be on the night my dreams died. Cut.
My fault for believing and seeing the good in others. I learned how to write, not to create beauty or to express. Allowing art to breathe, I write to compensate. Avoiding coming to grips with my eternal loneliness that is being passed from eternity to eternity. A jab to genius. Now my emotional intelligence is thinly painted by a veneer of sweet lies. It's never ending, like the days of the week. Poetry carries immortal love that not only the eternity of humanity tries to reach for, but lovers and those individuals in those love situations want. Poems dwelling in numberless moments, words occupying single featureless images of mood sensations. Reading, they stay silent throughout astonishment of self-discovery. Nothing is secret to the heart. I'm a stinking excrement desolated person. I can construct words in poems, taken from elements of my personality. I think I'm scum. The very moon shared by everyone now darkens only over me. Without frontiers, a self without boundaries, finding no ecstasy in divinity of words, professing deities. Don't know if I'm all the transcendental mystic traits rare in the lives of others, but without reason no one can purposefully handle. My breath tore and rasped. As I am living, I cannot be taken away from the fundamental problems of life. I'm not excused from it. The eccentrics will always be lonely, admired mostly from a distance. Any closer? It's normally at an arm's distance. Maybe at the curses of freedom. Ancestry breeding modern burdens, a scar with no name. A long time in the making. My problems to others is like drinking warm wine. Life is brief, the pain is deep. We go to love in hopes to be fulfilled. The moral fibre of it, improving the skill and meaning of art, where I just want someone like a cossetting me or my very essence. I loathe myself. Though the artist, the philosopher, or the eccentric individual can see the magic in the ordinary daily life, even though they are slightly jealous of those living in stable lives. I want to tease out the thinking of others. Trude's enlightenment can be extremely unbearable. Poetry cannot be only for the naive or the obsessive. Like I'm under hypotheticated to be who I am.
So you'll be doing like vlogs and stuff and or whatever? Or people in vlogs.
Yeah, people in blogs.
Awesome. No, that's alright.
I was thinking like getting in like I sort of feel like I like I want to just have my own page, like a Facebook page, a YouTube channel, my own shit without like close people watching my shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's fucking.
Like an artist, professional Facebook page and stuff.
Huh?
Just yeah. Do you know how to create your own Facebook?
No, not really. Is it? Do I have to do it from there, or can I do it from?
You can probably do it from your phone. Yeah.
Because I found.
Yeah. Log into your Facebook and I can just do the default one.
Well, I found. Okay, so what I can do is I go to this one here. So this Instagram account here.
Yeah.
That's a spare one,
Yeah.
and it's already got like 700 and something followers. I just have to remove all the other, how many people I'm following, right?
Yeah.
And then I can,
5,000, yeah.
yeah. So once I remove all of them, then I can make that one just YouTube channel sort of thing.
You're gonna delete that one?
Which one?
This one? I'll follow you back in the server. Okay. It's this one, right?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. So from there I can just create a Facebook page.
No, you have to go to Facebook.
Huh?
You have to go to Facebook.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is Instagram.
Yeah, no, you can actually edit profile,
Oh, okay, yeah.
and then you go to page, and then you can create a new Facebook page based on it.
Okay, yeah. You can do that then.
Page title.
Whatever you want, man.
I'll just call it whatever you want.
If you want.
No. I've been told I was handsome like a dancer. Life is life, something I cannot change. Breathing in perfume from exotic lands, and myth is alive somewhere. Perhaps it's what I'm looking for, a place where I can be accepted. Children are public figures now, and I'm on the road. I think people change for the worse when people ignore them enough. I don't think any dream is worth missing out on the blessings of knowing another person or allowing the ones you love to know you, but that's the price to pay. Now all masks have grins. Coffee isn't as strong. I'm always missing out on something. It's where we hide our shame. Shame is felt to be paid for our sins made from our hands. As our hearts become torn, we bleed inside and say nothing about it. But a bird can sing in any mood. To phase of me being loved by another is precious to me. Memories to something I can never be apart from. To where I am is another's nowhere, and I have no say in it. I have done nothing to another. I can never change that. To how we perceive things makes a difference. But to whatever isn't here is somewhere else. Leave here now, knowing that tomorrow has the potential to be anything, though definite truths cannot change. Know when to be humble. I am not elevating off the ground. One's own self-realization is one's greatest gift to themselves, for the world. I don't know. Since 1945, I haven't met anyone named Adolf. I'm not getting into the pool. It's where people pee. My fireflies belong to me, and at times I want to pack my bags, worry only about the clothes on my back, a packet of cigarettes, and leave somewhere else where it all becomes all too familiar. Everything is endless. Yep. What should we talk about?
Anything.
Is it on audio?
Yeah.
What a fucking great day. The weather's beautiful. We're out in nature. We're alive. It's beautiful. It's just great. We had a beautiful lunch. We had a nice walk. Just got to be positive. You know, like there's so many positive, so many good things that we can be positive about. I don't want to be negative anymore. I just want to let go of shit. There's no need to hold on to it. Other people's perceptions, bullshit. Forget it. It's just noise. Let go of all the noise. Fuck it off. Just block it all out. Close your mind. To live in a fake world. Real people are hard to come by. Very hard. You know what I mean? It's so hard to find real people. Even those that think they're real are riddled with flaws and character defects. Sloth is a hard one. That is a challenge. Pride is the biggest motherfucker of them all. But sloth is shit. It's fucked. Deep in it. Deep. Got a lot to say. And I don't know what's relevant. And I don't know what matters. Nothing matters. Things matter because we're told that it matters. Kill the ego. Kill. Die. Happy. Live forever. Live now. Dream. Dream big. Imagine. Imagine hope. Imagine faith. Imagine being free forever. Imagine. Just imagine. Draw it in your mind. What does it look like? What colour is it? What does it smell like? What does it feel like to be free? We're trapped inside this body. Like it's a vessel of crap. We need to realize what we are, the true essence of our spirit. We're trapped. I'm trapped. I want to get out of this. I want to know who I am, what I am. I want to love this ant. I think I'm like this leaf. I am nothing more than that. We are all one, from the same from the same makeup. Everything is from the same makeup. We have everything you see is inside you already. Everything you see is inside you. You hate something, then you hate that part of yourself. It's simple. So how can you love everything when you know that this is fake? Because people make it a fake world. That's why. People have made this fake. Reality is not real. Your imagination is real. Your dreams are real. Your gut instinct is real. True love is real. Sacrifice is real. Life is real and death is real. And I'm happy for both. Attachment is real and it's dangerous. Attachment is that's the problem. Love could lead to attachment. True love is letting go of it. Yeah. I don't want to cut these trees because I like these. This is my roof. Like this is the ceiling. And someone else might want to cut these off. And I don't do that. I'm a hoarder of nature. I like hoarding. I like leaving things like this. This is good. Something which is broken can be brought back to life. Something which is dead is gone, but hasn't gone forever. It gets decomposed, goes back into the soil, can come out through another plant later on. Reincarnation. Reincarnation of everything. It's in our makeup. Just accept it. It's beautiful. Our willfulness, that's something that mortals have. Like, we stopped.
We're recording now.
Is it?
Yeah.
Willfulness. Is willfulness a mortal's capability that angels and demons are scared of? Am I trying to be poetic? All I know is I'm comfortably confused. I'm confused, but I'm comfortable to be confused. I admit that. I might not have to work it out. I feel like I don't need to work it out. Everyone's journey is different. Everyone's at a different level. I've met some individuals in my life where I know I'm not going to be able to get to that level, or it's not like I hope to be at that level, it's just I don't see I need to. Unless I start to aspire to become like that, that could be a yet for me. So at this point in time, I'm just comfortably confused. Yep. And that's how I'll be for a while. And if you don't like it, you can stick it up your fucking ass. I couldn't care less. That's what I am. You know, people and their fucking stuff. It's amazing who we can get help from. We've got to take the good with the bad. Someone who could be a bit like a dictator might be someone who could help you. And that could be the stepping stone you need to get to the next level. So our humility can help see that an opportunity could be either a blessing or a curse. Maybe your wisdom and insight isn't enough. Maybe you need to trust your gut and go, this is the right thing to do right now. To be able to identify an opportunity is wisdom. To act on that opportunity is action. It's proactiveness. So I am trusting my gut when we're doing these videos and catching up, that this is what I need to do to get it out. Just to get it out of my system. Whatever it is, just to fill the void, detox the body of broken thoughts and broken emotions and confused and distorted thoughts and emotions all coming out. Just let it out, just take it out. And it doesn't really matter what you think. And if you think that I've offended you, that's not my problem. It's your problem. If you feel offended, that's got nothing to do with me. I just say what I have to say. And if it offends you, then that's up to you to work out why it's offending you.
And all, no, I'm just talking like, I want these candies, I want this, they're going to buy that. And that right there.
Like if I'm under a hypotheticated to be who I am.
And all, no, I'm just talking like, I want these candies, I want this, they're going to buy that.
Unbroken, even in times or activities where I excel at. Love is not the answer or reason to excuse everything.
Forget about all the other shit.
Denied beauty always turns evil. Those with great successes in life, with the various meanings of success, normally uphold great self-respect, still don't know why the fuck I'm here in the first place. Still got drug sickness, where my blood still itches. Not all of use, we cannot be fully understood by another. No amount of gestures of love, charity, or efforts can fill that hole. The end goal of love is fully kill that loneliness we're all impatient to kill off. As we're, at least since I can only experience my own life, tormented to endure till we take our last breath. Striving with no reason, if I had fully fell in love with another, perhaps my ambition in poetry would die then. At the world's rejections, I find myself there, very dark in the abyss from a backdrop of illness to where I had once lived through. I'm going to my deathbed with past of eternal self never explored or applied in reality. Why does others matter to me? I've grown tired of picturing smiles, unconscious moaning outside that I never articulate is always spoken somewhere in one of my poems, other than journals, is where you'll be able to find my secrets. I have read history books of philosophy, poems and outward expression to impassive world where humanity is always finding mistakes and vice is easier to act on than anything else. I read Bertrand Russell with great reward. Life is painfully learned, a bloom game of consequences. Torrential crying with no guidance, just false reassurances. A something we cannot define. Poetry is interested in beautiful phenomenal. Philosophy is for the bred. Interesting results. I don't like being alone through, though on the other hand, I don't like being with some people. Attention, the things we do not like in this life are also symbols of a freedom that we share in this world. Some artists are so successful because their career is too valuable to them, allowing no one in their world. In this lifetime, you'll never see a smaller person than you are until one breaks away from their self-made illusions. My ability is moving from failure to failure, yet I still write poetry, though mostly words of hate, bitterness and resentment, fulfilling thoughts that I had prior to these failings that had ended up breaking me. Poetry doesn't provide the totality of fulfillment. No matter which philosophy book I read, I still have more questions to answers. I squint at the sun, dropping my glasses from the forehead to cover my eyes, lit another cigarette, breathe, feeling my own angst, wondering on erratic thoughts to why I haven't committed suicide. I don't want to aspire to inspire, or even that even in one's personal life, where it's always personal disappointments, one can continue to learn philosophical concerns or write potent poetic lines. I'll always be waiting, searching, sitting on false setbacks of personal meanings, translating meaning to what meaning I already know. Fame is an extreme overcompensation of the need or want to be appreciated, as fame is constant like the clockwork of time, fading away. Don't put your weird shit on me, please. I could tell you my own. Turning to social criticism or art writing, at fault of prior career disasters, contemporary never dies. Imagination is partly to blame for illusions. Future frails and drops to the fall like an empty glass. Generally, I adapt the mood of my present mood when I am looking into the future. Love itself, or even the poetry of love, normally is written up from a desperate cure of what is and what has been neglected. If it's in love, a poet's hand writes with a slight stint of mockery. I've noticed too, like power, love can corrupt and always wanted more of it. I cannot continue receiving attentions as romantic love. Dominant defects of character I have: impatience, anxiety, worry, concern, neglect of self-care. Sometimes when you get stuck in shit, whether it's reality's cursing hands or self-made, one gets out of it. Others want to bring you down. I was once a prostitute junkie, now I'm self-publishing. Does this make me a white trash master? I'm male, on purpose, overcharged husbands who are married to women. Still, doesn't matter what virtue I allow inside or to any step I take towards a better life. Angels wrestle demons inside. Who has knowledge worth more than elephants' tusks? Is hardship or self-made mistakes just intimacy with destiny? I'm affected by the external. Milton's paradise is of hell. It's woefully unapologetic, chronicle with no seeds. My emotions are intensified. I cannot control. Never emulate an artist. My sense of well-being should lay in what I do and the quality of it, rendering on the result too, to see if it improved my own life along with troubling external society. Though imaginations entertain possibilities, the only thing I know about nothing is that it exists. Tension of my soul is the tension of everything. No Buddha thought can help, nor even Marcus Aurelius. I know eventuality, all will be like him. Devour elusive prey is a life unlived. Lust provokes my motivation to me making mistakes. It's a passionate distraction, suggestive to I am human. At what cost is it to fuck something? Nothing I can provide a cure to things I care about, not even reading any poems. It's not treatment to me. Writing my deepest thoughts in my journals, naming names. Use and don't use music to get a point across. Tomfoolery. At one point, the journey I'm taking will be a dream, fading to being lost in memory, where I'll end up forgetting the shit and focusing only on the good, turning romance. Who is a master to an idea? I'm always restless and I can never calm down. Lone artists I'll ever be. Culture doesn't provide all the answers, neither does any book. Playwrights, downright liars. My very flaws normally explode outwards. I find it hard to receive in what people are speaking to me about. redux brushes sticking to the blank canvas while my hair is chaotic, shutting down quickly, and as I am very defensive. Poetry is one method to make feelings known. Malice and melody always dwells inside. Inspire anxiety, united. I'm a simple creature trying to remember the words of Seneca, that I do have access to life's essentials, simple truths to which most only attain to. I'm addicted to thinking, stimulate the brain, always wanting, yearning or longing. Should I have 5 olives? Are any babies out to get anyone? Overlords, efforts made by narcotics, no discussions of theology, deadly flower petal. I am not writing this to show off anything, nothing of genius or creative skill. I'm only passing the time, which is nothing. This won't amount to anything. I'm listening to podcasts on film while I'm doing this. Nothing is permanent here in this life, besides that feeling I have that my life is going nowhere. Blasphemy is spoken with every word. Measure it. Don't just challenge the opposition, just everything, verging a common communal conflict. People live to their needs and short-sighted eyes, indiscretion, religious spasm, concern over my unbearable feeling of being alive. Blessed thing death is, something that is absolute. I like learning about Satanism. No soothing oil over my skin, impoverished, outside morals and ethics ailing from personal freedom. Trolls, what's written in glorious stone. Sacrifice anything at your own will. I normally exhaust things at my own detriment. Nothing that I've fucked can ever be amended. I've grown tired of being told how special I am, then flick it off like the tip of a bright candle. Rather than place to place, I get passed from person to person, unofficially adopted for a brief moment. Then when the grief is over, there I am again, in someone else's eyes, rubbed, touched, comforted, cared for. Someone somewhere believes that the end of civilization is just around the corner. Believe them. I've been dragged and raped. My normal looking people who at face value lives a very normal looking life. When a married woman gets to know me in a slow burn, humble way, they realize what kind of man they have married. I think mythical muses have entered my soul, smoked something, bloomed inside. The special gets the shaft, sherven my sins. I've lost grip on reality. Broken and now heartless, festering evil where my heart had once lived. Satan has nothing to do with it. Poets are great at woving myths into the truths of modern times. Pulp books and glitchy art, players on stage, not actors, clutching to the fantasy that I do have meaning or a destiny. Woody Allen movies do not have an answer. Flower fountain next to a mountain. What is a cover-up to this we call life? Myth. Fabric of our lives should be recorded, both in words and images, videos too, for future generations. Everyone's status is tragic. Everyone has something special about them. The trick is just to know who's worth our time. The refusal to be honest with ourselves. Do not speak down to another person. Just live a better and more successful life. An artist, a real one, is a chameleon of the arts, a shudder to my fantasies. Poetic gestures causing jealous from boys. I'm wrapped in gloom and become intoxicated with it. In conspiracies, there is more truth in it than people are willing to admit. I've read Dante's Inferno. I adore high art, despondent. A lover of history either hates or admires the present time. The mysteries of the future is someone who cannot part from either past or present, unwilling to wait. It is raining as I am writing this, and I have no cigarettes to smoke. A bit of coffee. Do not follow me if you're unwilling to be a part or allowing me to be a part of your life. I yawn at most conversations. The fact that fantasy is still chanting is an issue for me. Reality is still here, pulverizing my soul in every way. Even if it's going to be an extended length of hand-hitting poundings, I'll be dying too late as I will be dying too early, a poetic fanatic. Can philosophers and artists be considered as vultures of culture, dividing us from the sky? Assumptions perished upon discovering truths. Poetry be words of horrific horror that can bring the human soul to the edge of breaking, not of love poetry, not of love. Throw a dice pudding to the wall and never sit on an armchair till after dinner. Don't hash it. Pass the poetry to the left. Can't read anything when I'm sober. I don't think we can fully heal. Not until memory has fully been destroyed. Poetics got to learn how to take it easy. One love from a poet surrounded by mundane. Who's plotting to kill me? Don't weep for me. I'm getting high. I can feel your heartbeat. Is it time to die? Started off with an adolescent dream. Picked a pen, begun writing, spreaded it out. The quality of soul never ceases, nor does it grow, unless wisdom stops. Philosophy isn't absurd. It's just people thinking for the first time that they think is absurd. I had pure promiscuity in beauty, of fling with the lifestyle of the artist, how everything adored them all. The sounds of Nina Simone, the words of Kerouac, the intrigue of Wilde, the knowledge of Plato, a life of disagreements of Plath, the appeal of Sexton, the life of Mozart, the yearnings of Van Gogh, the vast and broad wisdom of de Botton, the strength of Calo, a praise of Louis Bourgeois. Leaving behind only impressions of the world was the birth of philosophy, just enigmatic warnings towards humanity. No deep mourning for the wisdom that has been left behind to die alone. Illuminate with a silhouette of words, drenching poetry. Art wants to create a world of beauty, with seamlessly wanting people to look at meaning rather than its beauty. Rootless foreigner, the evening servants stay silent, disapproving of physical contact. Residents of Captain Creepy, lentil soup with an irresistible aroma that can cure the hunger of the world by its very scent, like laying in bed next to a lover, smelling its intimate smell of their freshly lit cigarette, clouding the room of the smoke, an odd expression from a renegade's eye when they are reading a new text for the first time, twitching, blinking, closing from time to time. Very few people can uplift a traveller in midst of their travels and handle their issues. Stimulating poetry itself, no need for more Spanish comfort or Havana dreams under the sun's rays that make wine. And if it's a male traveller winning the heart of a woman, envy will roar from the local men that come to acceptance of being dull or local. Overwhelming complexity of reality that disputes, conjures, demands, focusing human attention elsewhere, rendering romantic art never to be lived in reality. And if it's a woman traveller, magic. The man more likely had been lost inside, that had been travelling the cosmos within himself. Non-smokers shouldn't talk poetry, especially in cafes. The mundane is a shameless, fragrant remark that are full of arrogance over romance between lovers, causing insecurities between hearts. Landmass over earth is a farm. Head throbbing, heart thumping, throat chokes, I can't sing, turning to poetry again. Meditations on learning. Master, struggling always to apply what I've learnt in my known reality. Unsure if I romanticize things because I experience cruelty in this life, or I just wanted to be loved. I'm forgotten in dust, falling in love with chasing love.
It's recording now, so.
We're not all equal. That makes us special. I know who I am. Nothing else matters now. I just want to hold your hand while you smile, for that is a blessing from its accidental benefit finding. Without meaning in my life, life itself becomes an aesthetic overload. If you never look, then whatever is just what you think of it. If you never find, it's left in your dreams while you sleep. There it lays. But some things are great to help spark to enlightenment. But for those some things, they might have to be let go. Nothing that is without effort. Without a sound, it forms besides the moans of pain that's crawling for. I'm still unsure what is the greatest of man. Get shit down, no one else will. From heaven's gold, a striking appearance, for people talk and cannot converse with holy riches. To what is my end game? A person, another brick in the wall. We're situated across the stream of time to where placed in this volume of history is not our choice. Being visionary isn't a blessing. You're blessed to see things others don't. Their belief in those words can make such a difference or not. It's dark and hot in hell. It's hard to convince another when they are sinning and winning at the same time. But a reflection lives outside. If you want to be respected as a total person, be something more than physically attractive. If there is really something about them that takes away anything from you in a negative way, walk, go, let go. If you're going to destroy them, there's something about them you still want. But this poetry journey for me started when I met one girl, a catcher of boys' eyes, enslaver of hearts, and my emotions no longer became a vague, dull colour, breaking out to make an effort. I wasn't trying to rebel against anyone, not even dismissing the person I was when I first met her by creating someone new. I'll send her poetry, no reply, which is a response. A sympathy for the devil, but only one's efforts can be considered a testimony to love. Though I had convinced myself I'm different and she notices, adjusting to such. It's love when the two meet and act, like a jazzman holding an instrument who plays notes. Every word I wrote had a sincere tone with it. Hoped to rearrange her feelings, but she received it and took upon her chest as an act of kindness, to where I should realise her chest hovering over her ribs that protected her heart, and she left it there until we run our course. As for now, that girl is forever elusive and unlikely will ever change. There's other people who can invoke her deeper issues than me. I'm not wired to leave behind unrequited love and unwanted lovers. I just want to live, with or without ceremony. Haven't you ever lost yourself in passion? A long self of prose, describing tales of two, and wanted to be inside those stories? Isn't it dangerous to romanticize others? You could possibly not be so when those tales present themselves in your own world. An accidental find, at a time when you wanted to move on. It's hard when you meet those characters and seeing what kind of person you are, misting ways you touch, you embrace, you become scared. To whenever reflected inside, all you could find is where your life had led up to and felt shame. You started to look away when you saw me. I felt pain and wanted to take it away from you. There were people who only thought of you as their ideal and your character smashed it, but I stayed. Young sage, do not fear. A fever wakes us up and permitting us to sleep, tossing and turning. This is it. Meeting one another at a wrong time. You feared to what confronted with that would pull me down. I'm not suitor or lover as a phase. The idea that I only wanted something deep and intense. A froth. But sweet pea, I just wanted us. You hurt me because you were hurting. You told me the nicest things, times even praised me. But that was the only relieve your own guilt in hopes to correct what you did wrong or couldn't do. A lover wanted. I caught you off guard. Never allowing your own time, I smothered you and I was too much. A boy laid, a boy raised. It was all new and unplanned. These people, the people with raw emotions, tame, spontaneous stream, thinkers, the poets, the calming words, will always have people timing and wanted but never asked for. For what does one do when they arrive to a place of not only discovery but of tremendous change? For like actions to vice, it's easier and even more natural to foil than it is to leap forward. I struggle now to look back on Sweet Pea without a sense of shame and loss, wishing it had never happened. For now without her I struggle with my patience to allow her the time and space to work out for eternal life. She's a part of my essence now, nothing to do with her own fault. I carry her with me. Regardless, I can't focus on anything, not even for a moment. I'm only writing now as something to do, and yes, if you were around now, these words would not be written. When I meet another person, that for the reasons of love, I would hate to think you'll be smiling unless it's because of something I have created. I wish I could have impacted your life to a point that an image of me is carried around with you like a photo in a wallet, and that you know that somewhere there are people sweet and genuine, one who isn't plain, blending into the ordinary, who is who they are, reaching for ideals while accepting their present mood. A relationship of the other sex isn't an issue, but a question of love. This poetry that I write is to pass the time. Can broken hearts really fix someone's vision? I'm interested in anything. I'll be the first to admit I'm addicted to the highs of life, and that nothing else can give to what is in love. Missing the point of life, that our very calling is to be content as we live our own life. Like consequences, a life's journey is something we cannot avoid. A hopeless romantic is my curse, my burden. Love is something I can give, but must live without from another. Have an open mind of love, but to deny all is something close to blasphemy. It doesn't make me angry or discriminated against, just saddened that love doesn't get a chance to breathe.